What is up? It's your boy King Sponge, and today I'm here. One second, I'm getting a call. I don't normally do this, but just give me 1 second. Yo, what's up?
Hey, King Sponge, it's Malachi. I'm ready to ball out in Boise, my guy.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, dog. I'm hearing a lot of smack talk online. I need you to get in NCAA and ball out for me.
Well, I got you, big dog. I'm on it right now.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it.
Did you just hear that? The #1 recruit of the 2023 recruiting class per ESPN, Malachi Nelson, QB1, is on his way to Boise State. Alongside him, he brings 4 years of eligibility. So you know what we got to do? We got to hop on NCAA 14, sim those 4 years of eligibility, and see where he ends up and if he lands among the greats. Okay. Booted up NCAA 14 and Malachi Nelson on the Boise State Broncos with college football revamp's latest roster. But I had to manually move Malachi Nelson myself to Boise State in their roster since we're not quite as updated on all the transfer portals, which is cool. Roster had him as a true freshman still. I added 3 overall points, somewhat like a normal average progression at the end of a Dynasty season. So I spreaded points around to give him up 3 overall to simulate, in effect, like he actually played a full season in the game. I'm not going to touch a thing recruiting-wise, roster-wise, and I'm not going to touch a single thing. So all we're going to be doing is following Malachi Nelson, and we'll see where he ends up year by year. All right, folks, we back at the end of the first season in the simulation. We made it to a championship game, year 1. Encouraging stuff for Malachi and the Broncos, man. 9-3, pretty solid. Playing UNLV, who went 10-2 in the Mountain West Championship. We'll have to jump into that one and check it out in just a second, as it's pretty dang similar to what happened in real life, right? All right, going into the championship game, it looks like we were 27th in the nation in passing, which is a good sign, led by Malachi. Solid, not otherworldly numbers, but solid for sure. Mountain West Championship on the line. This is a simulation. But I will jump in and play 1 drive as Malachi Nelson in the Broncos. But rest of the game will be simmed. So I just got to go check it out for myself, see what the hype's all about. Let's check out the cannon he's got on him. Finds a man, Cobbs in the slant for a 12-yard first down. Oh, we had a man. We still got a man. Cobbs down the sideline. Nice find for 30. All right, back to the air, going to the outside. Got Bowens. First down.
I like the call here by the defense.
Yep, up the seam. Riley Smith can take this one in, and he does, just like that, for a Boise State touchdown. Go Broncos.
That's what makes this offense so tough to defend. When you have a
and see if he can lead us to the land against the Rebels in his first season as a Bronco. Defensive battle for sure. There's a touchdown. UNLV on the board. Not having too much success. Really, UNLV taking the lead. There we go. We strike back. 2 quick touchdowns. UNLV not out of it yet. Let's jump in. Let's check it out. 3rd down. Big play for Nelson. Gets it off before getting hit and finds a man across the field, 15 yards to Caples. I expect nothing short of the same in real life. So, big game for Helani. There it is. There is that trophy.
And for UNLV, this loss will put a damper on what's been a great year.
Let's head over to the bowl game for sure. Simulate that one, and then we'll do a season recap. Okay, we got a bid to play in the Las Vegas Bowl against number 17 Oregon. Now that's a test. Let's go check it out. Team against the Ducks. No easy task. This will put Malachi to the test. Let's find out what happens. Looks like there was a fumble. Some turnovers here. Yep, Oregon on the board, but we strike back. This is going to be really hard to stay close with these guys. Oh my gosh. Oh man, it's over. It is over. Can we get any pride points here though? There's a touchdown. There's another touchdown. Still looking for pride. What a comeback. Can we still? Oh my goodness. I don't even remember. We were down by what? 28?
Passing down here.
What are we doing? Handoff 38.
He's going to be stopped short.
Even the most costly stuff. We get a touchdown back. They get the onside kick, and that'll do it. Boise goes down 45-35 to the Ducks. How did Malachi Nelson do? Oh my goodness. 472 passing yards. 2 passing touchdowns. He came out inspired. Unfortunately, fell short against the Ducks, but that was an impressive game from Nelson in the air. Okay, Malachi Nelson finished with 3,308 passing yards, 24 touchdown passes to 12 ints. Decent through the air in terms of yardage, passing to int ratio, a little high, but completion percentage has room for improvement as well. But he was sacked 36 times. That sounds like a lot, given Boise State. I know they've had some O-line troubles. So all in all, I mean, I don't have any complaints with the first year with Nelson at Boise State. This is great. Got the Mountain West Championship. Got some decent numbers. Alani, really good stuff. Malachi Nelson also had 5 touchdowns on the ground, so that brings him up to a total of 29 touchdowns. Okay, we got no transfer requests and no one transferring out. Now, the unfortunate reality in today's day and age, and we'll see in the next video game, is the portal. It's going to play a big part of things. You know, reality is I want Malachi Nelson to stay and be a Bronco for his career. Possibly, you know, we could see him bounce to the portal again if he absolutely balls the next couple of years, but that's just the nature of the beast today. Hoping he's a Bronco for life, so I hope I eat my words on that. I don't want him to leave. So, all right, into year 1 training results. Malachi Nelson with a +5, getting +1 speed, awareness, +1 throw power, and 4 accuracy. That is good stuff. That bodes well for next year. Malachi Nelson going into year 2, preseason first team All Mountain West. There we go. Week 1, W over Ole Miss, 35-14. Great start. Year 2, what's new? Round 2 against UNLV. The second year in a row, we're back to the championship game with Malachi and the Broncos taking on the Rebels again. Okay. Only difference is we're 1 win better this year than we were last year and ranked 22nd. Did I forget to mention? So top ranked Broncos led by Nelson. Loading in, looks like 7th ranked passing offense in the nation, improving by a whole 15 spots, I believe, or 20, or it's 15 to 20. That's a good improvement. All right, jumping into the game. You already know I got to get my 1 Malachi Nelson drive per season, and we're going to use it in the championship game. Let's change possession. Our ball. Let's hop in as a sophomore, redshirt sophomore Nelson, and see how this man feels and slings it. I just say we let Nelson cook, really.
Passes it to the middle of the field.
Any offense is pretty.
Over the middle. Oh my gosh. I threw a pick. I let him down. You know, the running Rebels running right through the defense. Here we go. Oh boy. This game is close, but Broncos take the lead and again get another touchdown. You cannot stop Boise State this year. I've seen multiple interceptions flash through the feed. Broncos stopped short. UNLV creeping back in. field goal and another field goal. I don't know what happened there. Three, two, one, just for funsies. Actually hurting his stat line there. Going backwards. But that's going to do it. 27 for 6. 364 passing yards. Boise State and the Broncos win their second straight championship with Malachi Nelson. This is exactly what I was hoping to see. UNLV can't catch a break against the Broncos, I'm telling you. That's twice in a row, and after 2 years, they gotta be wondering what can they do to break the spell. Malachi is their kryptonite. Broncos heading back to the Las Vegas Bowl as Mountain West champs, and they're getting a bid against Prime and the Buffs. Let's check it out. 7-2, going up against 7-5 Buffs. Buffs strike first. Field goal in return. Another field goal. Sanders and Prime are trying to secure a bowl victory here. Touchdown Broncos. This one's getting nice and tight. Malachi driving down the field. A lot of field goals. Up by 1. Broncos. But there come the Buffs. This is getting close. Wow, it's 25-25. Let's move it one possession at a time. You know what? Let's jump in and watch Malachi drive and see if he can lead us down the field. Not sure why the second time in a row Las Vegas Bowl looks kind of foggy, but maybe something's up with that stadium. But
Pass
what
out to
is
the
that?
tight end, but it's incomplete.
3rd and 17. Design keeper just to get it a little bit further, better position for the corner. Gets us to 4th and 11.
Keeps it and gets
Buffs
5
hold.
yards.
And yikes. Buffs get the punt return on the next play and take it to the house.
And here's the 14th play of the drive.
3rd and inches. Nelson finds a man for a touchdown across the middle. Latrell Caples with a snag and in. New school record for Caples on receptions. What a year. See what happens. Fumble recovered by Boise on the kickoff. You can't make this up. The simulation don't lie. I'm sorry, Buffs fans. Boise State and Malachi Nelson have the ball and find for 2nd and 5 and into the red zone.
It's second down.
8 seconds, 7 seconds. Looks like there's no sense of urgency out here. Hello. 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 What are we doing? Going to OT. Could have had the bowl victory right there with a field goal.
Well, that's the end of regulation, and this
Coach
game is still
said
unsettled,
nah.
so we're going to overtime.
And
he's hit immediately. They go to the
come
air and pick up a
on.
couple.
1-yard rush. That's
And this one's
game.
all but wrapped up with the
CU
final score.
wins.
Colorado 38, Boise State 35. As we wrap this game
That's
up,
play of the game,
what
too?
final thoughts
Okay,
do you want to
hold on.
share?
They
Well-
had their work cut out coming into this thing, and they never showed any quit. And
Bronco
once
fans,
you get
pain.
into overtime,
Why didn't we
anything
call a
can
timeout and take the field goal? We
Colorado
had
could have
one.
easily been run off of this
Oh
field
my
in
goodness, man.
regulation
That
or
should
in
have been a win for
overtime,
Boise
but they
State.
gutted out this very
But
well-deserved win.
bowl games continue to elude Nelson. I don't. It hurts me to say. It hurts me to say because it shouldn't have been this way.
Here's a look
I
at our
shouldn't have.
player of the game.
Instead,
EA
Hankerson,
Sports will
the Buffs
donate
win.
$10,000 in
It
his
really
name
shouldn't have been
to
this
his
way.
school's
Pain,
general
pain,
scholarship
pain.
fund. For Colorado, they win another one late in the season, giving them an 8-5 record. And for Boise State, they drop only their 3rd game of the year, making their record 11-3.
Okay, looking at the stats. Although a heartbreaking loss, absolutely devastation. Nelson, 322 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Insane game. I even saw an A symbol there, so that means he's an All-American. He's up to 97 overall. We're going to have to go take a look at the stats, but this man balls. Another 31 on the ground. But, man, this homie can ball. Before we get to that, Heisman winner, was he even on the consideration panel? No, he was not. Caleb Williams, his ex-teammate, actually wins the Heisman. First team goes to his ex-teammate, and he does not make the All-American list, but his teammate makes 2nd team All-American, so he must have been feeding Caples out here like a madman. First team All Mountain West actually goes to Doug Broomfield, the opposing quarterback in the Mountain West title game. And we get second team all conference. So a little disappointing, actually, given the hype around this year and his overall and, man, how well he looked like he was doing. But 8th overall on the passing leader list. And Caples finishes 3rd in the nation. So Nelson had a clear favorite target that he liked to throw to, and he fed Caples without a doubt. So end of year 2 analysis, Malachi finishes with 3,581 passing yards. I think that's a slight upgrade from last year. And 31 touchdown passes to 7 ints. Now this was a red hot year, which I am surprised, in a way better completion rate. And he hit the deck less. Yeah, all around a better year across the board. I'm surprised he didn't get first team Mountain West with these numbers. What did Doug do that our guy didn't? The question everyone's wondering is, what did Doug do? Well, here is what Doug had done. 3,633 yards, 34 touchdowns, 10 ints. I mean, neck and neck, you know, in terms of that. How did he rush, though? 5 on the ground. I ain't taking it away from the man. He did have a very, very good year, so I think slightly had the edge on our guy. In week 1 in the Chick-fil-A Classic, 326 yards, 4 touchdown passes, player of the game. Great week 1. Week 2, we had a bye. Week 3, beat Charlotte 29-28. And yet, what do you know? Malachi continuing to have a great game, even in the close battle here against the 0-12 Charlotte team. But he still puts up 362 yards and 2 touchdown passes. So week 4, we lose a game to Louisiana Lafayette, who had a good 10-3 season. And Malachi Nelson, this could be why we lost. I mean, Madsen came in through 2 ints, but Nelson must have got hurt during the game. Week 5, come back with a win over Colorado State, 45-32. Nelson comes back and leads us with 362 passing yards and 2 touchdown passes, putting up great numbers. Week 6, bye. Week 7, beat BYU in a rivalry game, 35-33. Nelson, 9 for 11, 2 touchdowns, 140 yards, but Madsen had to spell him again. But this time he had a much better performance, 2 touchdown passes, 119 yards. But Nelson got hurt in the game again. He was on pace for something great. BYU took him out of the game. Week 8, massive victory, 44-28 over Fresno State. Nelson looks like healthy for most of this one, 174 yards and 3 touchdown passes. Okay, 17-10 victory over San Diego State in week 9. Madsen playing most of the game. So you're telling me Nelson put up these great numbers, so far missing like 2.5 games. Interesting. 40-17 in week 10 over New Mexico. Nelson and Madsen splitting the game again. Is he injury prone? But he's putting up good numbers. 45-21 over Nevada. Nelson played this one, 192 yards and 2 touchdown passes. 38-35 against the Wyoming Cowboys in week 12. Nelson was in the game and in a big way for this one. 342 passing yards and 5 touchdown passes. Yeah, I'm convinced this man would have been All-American if he played an additional 2.5-3 games healthy. 45-35 against Utah State. Nelson, 379 yards and 4 touchdown passes. Stop it, man. 25 for 30 I'm passing to. 83% clip. Nasty. 27-20, drop the season finale to the Air Force Falcons. They have our number 2 years in a row. Nelson, 258 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 85% completion. What went wrong? And then, of course, in the conference championship, 34-27, Nelson led the team to a big old championship. No touchdown passes in this one, but did what he had to do to be efficient and get our team in a position to win. I think we can go to year 3, and man, I am excited to see what he can do. If he stays healthy and is on that field, this could be a year for the ages. Oh my Boise, you're reading that right. 99 overall for year 3. Malachi Nelson looking for a Heisman type season inbound. You're reading that right. And then his main man, Caples, up to 92. That should be a connection like no other. We got 91 throw power, 92 throw accuracy. This man is dialing it in, as well as 78 speed, 99 awareness, 94 agility, 94 excel. Yep, Malachi is primed and ready for the big stage. All right, let's check the Heisman watch. Is he in there? Not in the watch right now. A little disrespectful, but hey, he likes being counted out. At the end of year 3, you read that right, number 9, 9th ranked Boise State, 10-2 on the season, is at championship week, and they just give it to us. Flat out victory, just absolute destruction through the Mountain West. And looks like, I don't know the logistics behind that, but we don't play a game, which is odd. I thought I don't know the rules. Maybe back then, I think nowadays you play a championship game against, the best team in the West, best team in the Mountain, something like that. But yeah, don't ask me on the logistics of that. But we dominate enough that we don't even need to play the championship game. So that leads us to our bowl season. And we'll have to check out how Malachi did. But I imagine this man cooked. This is such a breath of fresh air for Boise after the last couple of years of somewhat mediocre football. Malachi in video game years. So that would be 2025 season, 26 and 27. Sorry, I take that back. That would be 24, 25, and 26 seasons in real life. Absolute stud. There he is. Absolute stud. Finishing 4th in the Heisman poll. Next year is his year. His last year, his senior year. So it's got to be with a bang. But that is big. 43 first place votes, 55 second place votes. Overall, 312 votes on the panel, but fell behind a triplet group of running backs in front of us. But we're going to be going to a New Year's Six Bowl, the Fiesta Bowl, against number 8 Toledo. What a game. This is the type of stuff you see when a couple schools like Boise State and Toledo, huh? They equipped up with weapons. Malachi Nelson and Toledo and co. Built our teams the right ways the last few years, and we got a bid to the Fiesta Bowl. A couple trophies, too. Nelson winning the Davey O'Brien. It looks like Caples won an award as well, so that is encouraging to see. Before we check out any season stats, though, we got to play the Fiesta Bowl and get our one drive of the season with Malachi Nelson. Toledo Rockets are 7th in the nation in offense. Boise State is 4th, being 1st this year in the nation in passing. 362 passing yards a game. I can't wait to look at those unruly numbers. That is crazy out here. Toledo, though, is no pushover on offense. Wow, this is going to be a game.
High stakes and a history of crowning national champions.
There we go. Number 1 in passing offense, number 1 in passing touchdowns. Toledo, not too far behind. This is going to be an offensive shootout. Fireworks on deck.
In the Fiesta Bowl.
This is an insane game. I am excited to play this one.
Enjoy everything.
Boise State classically back into the Fiesta Bowl. Boise State fans would love another Fiesta Bowl added to the banner. We already have 3. Can we go for our 4th Fiesta Bowl against Toledo here? Let's start off with a connection to Caples, the main man.
He's
First
tackled in the
down.
open field.
Caples with an even better season than he had last year. 1,600 yards, 18 touchdowns.
And stats are great.
Won the
But I think to a
Blinkenhoff
man, these players
receiver,
say, let's win the game
best
first, and
receiver
then
in the
any
nation.
accolades we get along with it. That'd be great.
I have to believe credit also has to be given to Malachi Nelson because Caples, as much as I love the guy, wasn't this much of a stud with Hank Bachmeier and Taylor Green. So Malachi Nelson is the truth. We're going to scramble. We're just going to scramble that sucker for a good old game of 17. 99 overall Malachi Nelson. You use Malachi Nelson. First down Broncos.
The 34-yard line. I like the call here by the defense to bring the heat with the outside linebacker. It was just a better call by the offense, and that's why it's a first down.
1st and 10. Ball on the 34-yard line.
Okay, tight end looks open. Let's hit him. Let's get in there. Runs right through him, down into 1st and goal territory. 1st and goal. Let's see if we can cash in. We got weapons out here. Oh yeah, wide open. That's going to be a touchdown for Lauder. Absolute stud. Nelson and Lauder on the board. And that is a new school record. You just saw that. That's right, 45 touchdown passes. This man is a record holder. He just passed legendary Kellen Moore for most touchdown passes in a season. I am giddy inside. Okay, we're going to the end of the game. Toledo with their offense does get us in. But Malachi and Boise State look strong. But don't count out the Rockets. As they got that offense that's driving on our defense. But they don't have any answers for Boise State and Malachi. That was only halftime. We got more football in store. Oh my gosh, that touchdowns keep raining in. That's 48-20, 48-27. Wow, Toledo with a couple quick strikes. But this is game. We're going to take home a we're going to take home the Fiesta Bowl here.
I think
we can just get 2 more minutes of football.
They're allowing the offense to
Up the
kind of
middle,
dictate things.
5 yards. Nelson in the offense. Can we get the first down and effectively end this game? We do. Wide open, 85. And I see that correctly. You see that correctly. 474 yards in 7 touchdowns. 34 for 36 on passing. I don't know if I've ever seen a stat line like that. Like in a simulation, in a game. That has got to be the most impressive stat line in like NCAA history. If that ever happened in real life. 474 yards, 7 touchdowns, 90-something% clip. What? It is confirmed. Malachi Nelson is alien. He's not of this earth. He has 2 more touchdowns than Bo Nix's 5 against Liberty this year, actually, in the Fiesta Bowl, which tied him for first place in the Fiesta Bowl history. But Malachi Nelson has 7 touchdowns. Malachi Nelson has 7 touchdowns, putting him 2 touchdowns ahead of second place. So he's in first place all alone. But he does fall short of Jack Cohn by 30 yards. 2022 Notre Dame versus Oklahoma State. Jack Cohn threw for 509 passing yards. So just missed him there. But hey, when you get 7 touchdown passes and you have that 90-something% completion clip, I mean, shoot. I'll give you the best performance of Fiesta Bowl history. Man, the portal and NIL is also weird today. That this is probably a little bit unrealistic. When you do this, like, and you are the best recruit coming out of 2023. I mean, this is not impossible. As crazy as the success has been, the thing that I would be worried about if I wanted to replicate this in real life for Boise is like you got to build the team. You can't just have one quarterback. And that's all you got. Like, I mean, Genty's there, All-American. We got 16 or something other offensive guys coming back. So, trust me, he's going to have weapons. This is possible. Now, it's a little unrealistic. He sticks for 3 years and develops into a 99 in real life, right? But, man, a Boise fan, a Boise Bronco fan can dream. And this is what we dream of, 55-41 in the Fiesta Bowl. I am a happy camper. New record for best QB rating in a single season in history of the NCAA goes to Malachi Nelson, passing Alabama's quarterback Mac Jones, 203.9. If that's not a testament, this guy was robbed of Heisman. This guy was Heisman. And it's not done there yet. Boise State Nelson passes Ryan Dinwiddie in 2003 for most passing yards in a single season for the school. And not so fast. Still not done. After a 7-touchdown performance in the Fiesta Bowl, 51 touchdown passes in the season, setting the record over Kellen Moore's 43. This guy's him, and so is Caples. Caples is him. A school career record. No other Boise State Bronco receivers had more catches than Caples in their career. He's him too. Caples breaks his own record from last season. Most yards as well. Caples is him too. And did I forget to say Caples is him too as well with most career receiving yards? Hold on. Caples is him. 20 touchdowns. New single season record for receiving touchdowns. 20. He's him. All right, now's the time to break down season stats. And yes, Nelson was the nation's leader in passing yards by 400 yards. So a great margin there. And how is Cameron Ward for Washington State still playing? Hasn't that man been around forever? Not one, but 2 Broncos in the top 3 for receiving. Caples and McAllister both fed and benefiting tremendously from Nelson's play. On the year, Nelson stayed healthy. 4,568 passing yards, 51 touchdown passes to 3 ints. 3 ints. Oh my gosh. 351 yards per game, 71% completion. He's improved insane each season. And he's getting sacked less as well. Yeah, this guy is making magic happen in Boise. But man, Caples and McAllister were some dogs. 20 touchdowns, 18 touchdowns. Insane. Got the win over BYU 42-33. .433 yards and 5 touchdown passes to kick off the year. Nice. Week 3, massive win over Washington, 42-18. 523 yards and 6 touchdowns in the air. Yeah, this is an insane season. You could just tell coming. 31-6, week 4. 272 yards, 2 touchdowns. Still got the job done. .396 yards, 5 touchdowns against an FCS school. You already knew this was coming. Week 6, we drop a heartbreaker in OT to the 7-6 LSU Tigers. Man, what could have been if we just won this game. Nelson had probably one of his worst performances of the year with 1 touchdown pass, 2 ints, 345 yards. And back-to-back, drop another heartbreaker by 5 to the Colorado State Rams, who went 10-4 in the year, 44-39. Malachi did his part, 316 yards, 4 touchdowns, trying to keep it close. Week 9, get right against Wyoming, 45-24. 279-2. 35-14 in week 10 against Utah State. 289 passing yards and 5 touchdown passes. 31-28 close one against UNLV in week 11. 327 yards and 4 touchdown passes. 52-28 in week 12. Malachi Nelson, 224 yards, 5 touchdowns. Looks like Madsen had to spell him for a little, but Did well in relief. 21-16, close one against Hawaii. Malachi Nelson, 15 for 17, 229 and 2. Week 14, 45-21 over San Jose State. And Nelson finishing off the regular season with 461 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. And then need I say anything else? Fiesta Bowl, 474 yards, 7 touchdowns on 94% completion. Absolute best game of his career. Best game of Boise State history. Best game in Fiesta Bowl history. Wow. What more can be said? Going into year 4, Malachi Nelson has 11,547 passing yards and 106 passing touchdowns to 22 ins. That is an absolute steal for whoever got him in the 4th round. Steal. That's like a Puka story inbound in the NFL. This guy, based on his stats in college, will absolutely ball for whoever snagged him. So 4th round pick for Caples and your boy Malachi, even though he's a 99, stuck true to the Bronco blue and is coming back for his final senior year. Heisman watch. There he is on the panel at the top with Justice Haynes, a running back from Bama. So let's see if Malachi can take it home this year in his final year. Preseason All-American fitting Nelson, first team All-American with a couple of partners, McAllister and Randolph. Very cool to see a couple Boise Staters, and we also got a right outside linebacker. So looks like the scouts are high on Boise State this year. No bigger stakes than this year. So can we make a run? Look at that Malachi Nelson effect. 90 overall as a team, 97 in offense. Let's see if we can have a season that can even top the magic of last year. We back up in here. Number 9, Boise State, 11-1 on the year. An absolute brutal loss. Yeah, I'll show you guys in the log, but I'll tell you now, UNLV got their sweet, sweet revenge on Malachi Nelson after Malachi Nelson has just stunted on him in the last couple championship games. They spoil, most likely, Boise State's dreams at a national championship. But a win here against 20 SDSU in the Mountain West Conference Championship game could go a long way to help persuade committee to let us in, but it's a long shot. Looking at our stats, 7th in the nation in passing yards, a step down for sure from last year, but still 4th in offense. Defense slightly better. Just a good year. Very good year. I mean, when you had the first number 1 passing offense, I mean, and you go down to this, a little bit of a step back, unfortunately, but great year. I'm going to save my drive for the bowl game in next week's action. So let's just simulate, see what happens here. Aztecs up 7-zip, but we tie it back 7-7, 14-7, 21-7. Aztecs with their 92 rated defense not holding very well against the offense for Boise. 31 points on them through the half. Aztecs still hanging around though. This is still anyone's ball game if they get a nice run here, but our defense holding, and there's the Aztecs with a touchdown on offense. There we go. That touchdown should just about seal it. Another one for good measure, and another one for good measure. 51-23 in the Mountain West Championship game. So that's right. Malachi Nelson has brought 4 straight Mountain West titles to Boise. It's literally like a dream come true for any school if this happens. It's like so unrealistic, it feels like it hurts. But the simulation is cooking. The script writers are writing something massive for Nelson. 428 and 4. So absolute great game there. Let's see if the committee digs that anymore, and maybe we crack in with a good bid to the bowl game. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe championship week, funnier things happen and we get in, but I'm not holding my breath. Bright note, 12-1. We have improved incrementally by 1 game every season. It was like, what, 10-3, 11-2, 12-2, now 12-1, I believe. And yeah, our guy's not on the board. So I wonder if that that atrocious... Oh, that is a hose job. Oh, that is atrocious. We're back to the Vegas Bowl. We don't even get a New Year's Six Bowl. This is robbery. This is robbery. Ending it on a little bit of a sour note against 7-5 Cal. That should be a stomping. I can't believe it. What are the playoff committee folks smoking up in here? I mean, step back, though. Take that with a grain of salt. I mean, 35-5, 3,300 yards. He must have been injured for a little while. Yep, I see Madsen had to get in there. Had a decent job spelling him, but... step back for sure for him. Genty popping off. That man can run, and in real life, he is an All-American, and he is like that. Found him. Terry got some room. Gives a nice stiff arm. Gets an additional
around the 45-yard line. And for Nelson, he's just set a new high water mark for career passing yards.
Career passing yards just breaks
ever seen around here?
Or broke it a couple hundred yards ago, but he has broken Kellen Moore in his passing yard record in his Boise State career. So it's time to build the Malachi Nelson statue, and I hope we can say the same in real life as he finds a wide open McAllister. Absolute stud of a touchdown for the Broncos. Let's get an instant replay on that. Absolute redonk, but Cal drives down for 3. We're going to sim this one out, see if Boise State can come away with another bowl game victory, but Cal is not going away. 24-22. There we go. Boise takes the lead. This is a back and forth scrap, but offense gives us another touchdown and cushion. Another one for insurance, 43-24. Up by 3 scores. Cal takes their field goal and gets another touchdown. So they are making it a little interesting here at the end, but Boise finishes it off with a last-second scare, 50-47. So let's take a quick peek. Nelson, 398 passing yards, 4 passing touchdowns. Great way to cap it off. Genty for 3. McAllister and Terry, great lines as well. So great way to end the year with a bowl victory. And there it is, officially in ink. Nelson, 15,263 passing yards in his school career, passing Kellen Moore, an all-time legend. Does it in style and passes him in touchdowns. This guy is breaking all the records. McAllister passes Caples. McAllister passes Caples. McAllister passes Pettis in a career receiving touchdowns. That's gonna do it, man. I mean, that's the end for Malachi Nelson. I imagine goes round 1, pick 1, coming out of the draft. I'm not going to give you the week-by-week breakdown, but I want to tell you where the heartbreak happened. Had a couple buys there, but what in tarnation happened in week 8 that prevented us from the Natty? 56-17 UNLV. Like I said, absolutely slobbed over Malachi Nelson this game. Uncharacteristic. Oh, and you know why? Nelson wasn't playing. Must have got hurt in practice or something. But even if Nelson was there, Friel, 293 passing yards and 7 touchdown passes. Would have gave him a run for the money. The defense was absolutely atrocious this game. UNLV spoils Boise State's natty dreams. So, unfortunately, Malachi is going to walk away from Boise State without a Heisman, without a national championship, but he did finish with a couple trophies and school records. Did everything just about else you could ask for. Fiesta Bowl, the Las Vegas Bowl, 4 straight Mountain West championships, 46 wins as a Boise State Bronco, with this year arguably being the best yet, but last year the Fiesta Bowl was the best one. So 46 wins for Malachi Nelson. I think he falls 4 short of Kellen Moore, so Kellen Moore still gets him in one record. The legend still beats him there in school win. Is he not going? And now with the absolute twist of the video, Malachi Nelson sets records, balls out like an absolute G, but decides to retire, graduate and retire from football. Yeah, you're looking at that correctly. The simulation has Malachi Nelson, arguably round 1, pick 1 in the next year's draft, retire, graduate and retire. Man's hanging up the cleats after being one of the all-time NCAA greats. Hangs up the cleats. I'm shook. Hangs up the cleats. Must have been a health decision. Got hit 106 times in college, or at least sacked 106 times. Probably got hit more. And say, hey, my health's not worth it. I could have been one of the best in all of the league, but I'm done. Football is just a game. There's more to life. So Nelson shows the human element, human side of it, and retires. Okay. Well, didn't see that coming. With all of that, Nelson calls it quits, and that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you enjoyed. I had a blast making it. Exciting stuff happening in Boise with Malachi Nelson heading to the Broncos. I'm excited to see what he does in year 1. Don't want to expect the same level of success in his first year that the simulation gave us, but heck, if he can get to a New Year's 6 bowl in the next 4 years of eligibility, that's a win in my book. If he can win us a couple more Mountain West championships, that's a win in my book. So I hope that all comes to fruition and the portal doesn't bite us after a year or two. Knock on wood. But never know in today's landscape. So go Broncos. Good luck to Malachi Nelson and team next year in college football. This is King Sponge, and we out. Yee.
Hope, yeah, I'm on my way, I'm coming.